The Ark of the Covenant. Imagine a power so immense, so sacred, it could part rivers, crumble walls, and strike down those who dared touch it. Yet this divine throne, central to the very fabric of ancient civilization, didn't vanish in a blaze of glory. No, it simply disappeared. What if the most sacred object in history didn't vanish, but chose to hide? This isn't just another archaeological riddle or a dusty biblical tale. It's a living whisper, an echo of glory that still resonates within every culture, every faith, every human heart. Why has humanity relentlessly searched for this lost artifact, this divine conduit for millennia? What if the true story of the Ark of the Covenant, its miraculous power, and its mysterious disappearance has been veiled for centuries, impacting us in ways we never realized? Could it be that the Ark never truly left us, but instead transformed its presence? In this transformative journey, we will unlock the profound secrets of the Ark's celestial blueprint, dissecting every golden detail and acacia wood whisper, revealing why its design matters more than you can imagine. We'll unearth the sacred relics it carried, the law, the provision, the authority, and connect them directly to the very soul of nations today. Prepare to witness how this ancient marvel moved armies, shattered strongholds, and challenged the very nature of power, forcing us to confront a holy paradox, a source of life that also brought death. By the end of this video, you won't just discover the Ark's hidden past. You might just realize its profound healing energy still rules us, guiding our understanding of faith, reverence, and the sacred. This is a story of divine mystery, human failing, and an enduring truth that promises to change everything you thought you knew about one of history's greatest enigmas. Join us, share your thoughts below, and let this sacred narrative awaken something deep within you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join our journey of uncovering ancient truths. The Ark was more than a box, it was a portal. The very heart of the Ark of the Covenant was never about its physical form. It wasn't merely a meticulously crafted wooden chest, nor a safe deposit box for sacred relics. For ancient Israel, this magnificent artifact was something profoundly more. It was the tangible manifestation of the divine presence on earth, a mobile throne where the Almighty resided amidst his people. Imagine standing before it, feeling the very air hum with an unseen energy, knowing that this was the sole place where heaven touched earth. It was a sacred interface, a direct conduit to the incomprehensible, allowing mortal eyes to glimpse, however fleetingly, the glory of the eternal. This yearning for the invisible to become visible is not unique to the tales of the Ark. Across every civilization, humanity has reached out, desperately trying to bridge the gap between the earthly and the divine. Consider the Kaaba in Mecca, the spiritual epicenter for billions of Muslims worldwide, towards which every prayer is directed, a fixed point of cosmic connection. Or the enduring quest for the Holy Grail in Western Christendom, not just a cup, but a vessel imbued with mystical power, representing purity, salvation, and communion with the sacred. Even the revered relics of Buddha in the East inspire profound devotion, believed to carry the enlightened essence of the awakened one, offering solace and spiritual insight. What do these diverse expressions tell us? They reveal a universal, timeless truth. Humanity's soul aches to bring the formless into form, to touch, to see, to connect with something boundless and transcendent. The Ark of the Covenant, in its purest essence, embodied this yearning more intensely than almost any other object in recorded history. It was the place where humanity's deepest spiritual longing found its ultimate response, making the incomprehensible accessible, transforming a nomadic people into a nation led by the very voice of God. What sacred object, if any, holds such profound meaning for you today? Share your thoughts below. Let's explore this human longing for connection. The blueprint from heaven. Why the details matter. The astonishing truth about the Ark wasn't simply that it existed, but that its very blueprint was whispered from heaven itself, meticulously detailed by the Creator to Moses on Mount Sinai. Every single measurement, every material chosen, every intricate design element, from the cherubim guarding the mercy seat to the very rings for carrying poles, held profound, multi-layered significance. Think about the acacia wood, a timber remarkably resilient to decay, symbolizing incorruptibility, the eternal nature of God's covenant, and his unwavering promises that stand the test of time. Then imagine the purest gold, encasing this wood, representing the divine glory, the unblemished perfection, and the sacred majesty of the heavenly realm. It wasn't just decorative. It was a radiant beacon of divine presence, reflecting spiritual purity. But what if these details transcended mere symbolism? What if there was a deeper, almost scientific dimension to this divine engineering? Ancient texts chillingly recount instances where touching the ark without proper sanctity resulted in instant death. For centuries, this was dismissed as myth or divine wrath beyond human comprehension. Yet consider our modern understanding of energy. We know the lethal consequences of ungrounded high voltage, the destructive power of immense electrical currents. What if the Ark, in its function as a divine communication device, generated or contained an energy field so incredibly potent, so purely charged with cosmic power, that direct, unprepared human contact was akin to touching a live wire, utterly overwhelming the mortal coil? This isn't about magical thinking. It's about contemplating the possibility that divine power operates on principles we are only now, in our nascent scientific understanding, beginning to glimpse. It compels us to re-evaluate our perception of ancient wonders, shifting them from quaint relics to sophisticated sacred apparatuses, meticulously engineered for a purpose far grander than mere display. The Ark was not just an exhibit, it was a functioning spiritual technology, a conduit of raw, unfiltered divine energy. Its design was a testament to a cosmic precision, a reminder that the divine operates with an order and power that transcends our limited human frameworks. When we dismiss these details as arbitrary, we miss the profound wisdom embedded in every instruction, every gold-plated surface, every sacred dimension of this unparalleled artifact. What ancient design, in your opinion, holds the most powerful secrets? Let us know in the comments. 3 relics. Inside, the theology of what we carry within the golden confines of the Ark lay not 1, but 3 sacred relics, each carrying an immense theological weight, a profound symbolic resonance that echoed the very foundations of the covenant between God and humanity, and indeed the pillars of any thriving society. First, the tablets of the law, divinely inscribed with the 10 Commandments. These weren't mere rules. They were the very bedrock of divine justice, the moral compass, and the blueprint for a righteous life. They represented the unwavering truth, the unchangeable standard against which all human actions would be measured. They were a covenant etched in stone, binding a people to their God. Next, a golden pot of manna, the miraculous bread that sustained the Israelites through 40 arduous years in the barren wilderness. This wasn't just food. It was a tangible symbol of God's unfailing provision, his daily grace, and his unwavering commitment to nourish and sustain his people, even in the most desolate circumstances. It spoke of absolute dependence on the divine for every need, a constant reminder of abundance even in scarcity. And finally, Aaron's rod that budded, a dry staff that miraculously blossomed with leaves and almonds, chosen by God to affirm Aaron's legitimate priesthood and authority. This rod wasn't just a stick. It was a potent symbol of divine authority, legitimate leadership, and God's chosen order. It represented the power of true leadership, divinely appointed and confirmed, guiding the people with wisdom and spiritual insight. Now, consider the profound parallels these 3 relics hold for the very structure and soul of any nation, even a modern one like the United States, often described as one nation under God. What makes a country truly endure? Is it not built upon its laws, its foundational principles of justice and order, like the tablets? Is it not sustained by its ability to provide for its people, ensuring their welfare and prosperity, like the manna? And is it not guided by the legitimacy and respect for its authority and leadership, like Aaron's rod? If a nation were to lose its moral compass, its capacity to care for its citizens, and the respect for its legitimate governance, would it not begin to crumble from within, losing its very identity and divine blessing? The contents of the Ark serve as a timeless, powerful reminder of what truly sustains a society, both spiritually and practically, echoing through the halls of history and resonating deeply in our present challenges. What do you believe are the essential relics that uphold your nation today? Share your insights. Let's learn together. How the Ark moved nations, literally. The Ark of the Covenant was never meant to be a static museum piece confined to the quiet reverence of a sanctuary. Oh no, this was a dynamic, living force that quite literally moved nations, shaking the very foundations of the earth and the hearts of men. Picture the awe-inspiring moment at the Jordan River. As the priests, bearing the Ark, stepped into the swollen waters, the river parted, allowing an entire people, a vast multitude, to cross on dry land into their promised land. This wasn't just a crossing, it was a divine grand entrance, a testament to God's guiding hand. Then recall the seismic event at Jericho, not by brute force, but by faith and obedience. As the Ark was carried around the mighty walls, trumpets blared, and the seemingly impenetrable fortifications crumbled to dust. These weren't mere isolated miracles. They were profound demonstrations of unparalleled divine power, transforming the landscape and the destiny of a people. But beyond the overt miracles, consider the immense psychological effect, the spiritual gravity this object exerted. Imagine being a soldier in that ancient army, marching into battle, knowing that the very presence of God, symbolized by the Ark, was leading your charge. It wasn't just morale. It was an unshakable conviction, an indomitable spirit fueled by divine assurance. It's akin to the powerful resonance of a national flag fluttering proudly in the wind, inspiring unwavering patriotism, or a military banner uniting troops with a shared purpose and an unyielding will to prevail. The Ark was the ultimate center of belief, a tangible source of hope, invincibility, and undeniable divine backing. It transformed fear into courage, doubt into conviction, and a scattered people into an unstoppable force. It compels us to ponder, if such a powerful, divinely backed artifact were to miraculously reappear today in our complex and often volatile geopolitical landscape, which side would ultimately prevail? Would it be those who wielded its power, or those who truly understood its sacred purpose? What do you think? Drop a comment below and share your perspective. The Ark as a weapon. A holy paradox. Here lies perhaps the most profound and unsettling paradox of the Ark of the Covenant. It was a source of life, liberation, and triumph, yet it also brought swift, devastating death. The chilling story of Uzzah stands as a stark, unforgettable testament to this duality. As the Ark was being transported, it seemed to tip, and Uzzah, in a well-intentioned but unauthorized act, reached out to steady it. In that very instant, he was struck down, dead. His heart might have been pure in its desire to prevent the sacred object from falling, yet his action was a blatant transgression of divine protocol, an act of presumption against the holiness of God. It wasn't about malice, it was about irreverence, a failure to understand the absolute purity and power that the Ark embodied. This ancient narrative holds a stark, urgent lesson for our modern world. Divine power, or any immense power for that matter, cannot be reconciled with good intentions if understanding, reverence, and ethical boundaries are absent. Today, humanity stands on the precipice of wielding technologies that are, in essence, our own new arks. The burgeoning power of artificial intelligence, the groundbreaking capabilities of gene editing, the terrifying potential of advanced weaponry. We are manipulating forces we barely comprehend, often driven by ambition and lacking the profound ethical frameworks necessary to guide their deployment. We risk becoming modern-day Uzzahs, reaching out with what we deem good intentions, but lacking the profound wisdom, humility, and moral foresight required to handle such immense, world-altering power. The Ark's paradox forces us to ask, are we prepared to wield the arks of our own creation with the reverence and understanding they demand, or are we hurtling towards consequences born of our own hubris? This is a question that reverberates through the ages, challenging our very understanding of responsibility and power. What new ark of technology do you believe holds the most significant potential for both good and peril? Share your thoughts below. When reverence turns to routine and disaster strikes, the vibrant, life-giving power of faith, much like the Ark's radiant presence, can unfortunately dim when reverence turns to routine. This slow, insidious erosion of the sacred is a phenomenon we see echoed throughout history, from the decline of ancient civilizations to the rise of secularism in the modern West. What begins as a profound, awe-inspiring connection often, over time, transforms into a series of rituals performed by rote, a set of beliefs held casually, rather than cherished deeply. The Ark, once the pulsating heart of Israel's journey, was at times treated with a dangerous familiarity, a mere token of God's presence rather than God's presence itself. The tragic story of Uzzah, then, is not merely an isolated incident of divine judgment. It stands as a chilling, timeless warning, a profound prophecy for any society that allows its sacred, its deepest truths to become commonplace, its reverence to devolve into casual familiarity. To touch the holy with a profane, unexamined mindset is not just a mistake, it is an invitation to disaster. Uzzah's death wasn't an arbitrary act of vengeance. It was a consequence of violating a sacred boundary, a stark reminder that immense power demands immense respect and adherence to its inherent laws. The true danger, then, never lay in the Ark itself. Its power remained constant, pure. The true danger lay in how humanity chose to approach the sacred, how readily we allowed our understanding and our awe to dissipate. When the divine is treated as mundane, its power, far from vanishing, becomes a force for judgment, a painful reminder of lost connection, rather than an empowering wellspring of blessing. This isn't just an ancient lesson, it's a living truth for us today. Are we, in our modern convenience, unknowingly treating the sacred aspects of our lives, our relationships, our values, our very planet, with a dangerous routine? Reflect on this and share your perspective below. The Ark is captured, but God is not defeated. The unthinkable happened. The seemingly invincible divine throne of Israel, the very symbol of God's presence, was captured. The Philistines, Israel's sworn enemies, seized the Ark, believing they had conquered not just a people, but their very God. It was a trophy of conquest, a declaration of their supposed supremacy. But their triumphant shouts quickly turned into agonizing wails, their victory into a bitter curse. Plagues of tumors and diseases ravaged their cities. Their mighty god Dagon, a fish idol of immense proportions, repeatedly fell before the Ark, his head and hands miraculously breaking off, a humiliating and undeniable declaration of divine sovereignty. Even in captivity, the Ark asserted its unyielding authority, demonstrating that the Creator remains supreme, utterly untouched by human actions or intentions. This dramatic episode powerfully exposes a critical fallacy that plagues humanity throughout history. the attempt to weaponize faith, to twist divine power into a tool for worldly dominion and conquest. The Philistines learned a brutal, unforgettable lesson. The divine cannot be owned, it can only be served. God's power is not a commodity to be exploited, a weapon to be wielded for selfish gain, or a trophy to be paraded. It is a sacred trust to be honored, a boundless force that operates on its own terms, far beyond the petty ambitions of mortals. Even when seemingly subdued or imprisoned by human hands, the Ark, through its silent yet devastating power, proved that the Creator is never truly defeated. He is sovereign, whether his presence is honored or profaned. This ancient narrative serves as a potent reminder for us today. True spiritual power is never about control or possession. It is always about humble service and unwavering reverence. What does this story teach us about the true nature of power, both divine and human? Join the conversation in the comments. The silence of the Ark, when power withdraws. After its tumultuous, awe-inspiring return from Philistine captivity, the Ark of the Covenant entered a period of profound, almost perplexing silence. For nearly 20 long years, it resided in Kirjath-Jearim, tucked away off the main stage, without miracles, without public triumphs, without leading armies to victory. It was a time when the visible, dynamic manifestation of God's power seemed to withdraw, retreating from the public eye. This silence of the Ark resonates deeply with our postmodern era. We live in a world where belief, once the very bedrock of society, has been increasingly relegated to the private sphere, often pushed to the margins of public discourse. We find ourselves amidst a rising tide of secularism, where spiritual narratives are often dismissed as outdated, and the sacred is sidelined by the seemingly tangible advancements of science and technology. When faith is no longer central, when the collective ear turns deaf to spiritual whispers, it's not that God has withdrawn, it's that humanity has simply stopped listening. The Ark's silence was not an absence of power, but a reflection of the people's disengagement, their casual indifference, their turning away from the divine presence that once led them. It was a consequence of their own choices, not a sign of God's retreat. The divine presence never truly vanishes. It merely awaits recognition, a humble heart open to its boundless wisdom. This powerful lesson echoes for us today. Are we allowing the sacred Ark in our own lives, our values, our inner peace, our connection to something greater, to fall silent because we've stopped tuning in? Reflect on this quiet truth and share your thoughts below. Ethiopia, Jeremiah, Templars, Nazis, where did it go? The Ark's eventual, undisputed disappearance from historical records has fueled millennia of relentless speculation, fervent searches, and captivating legends. From the ancient, steadfast Church of St. Mary of Zion in Ethiopia, where some devout believers claim it still resides, fiercely guarded by a chosen lineage of monks, its presence a hidden blessing for their nation, to the cryptic prophecy of the prophet Jeremiah, suggesting he may have secreted it away on Mount Nebo, perhaps a divine hiding place, awaiting a future revelation. From the whispered tales of the Knights Templar, brave crusaders who might have discovered it beneath the Temple Mount and spirited it away, safeguarding its mysteries, to the desperate, almost comical yet chilling pursuits by the Nazis, who, in their perverse quest for ultimate power, sought to harness the Ark's divine energy for their own dark, tyrannical ends. Why this relentless, almost obsessive human need to find the Ark? Is it truly about encountering God, about reverently reconnecting with the divine? Or is it, for many, about satisfying a deeper, more primal craving for power, for validation, for a tangible answer to our spiritual emptiness, a quick fix for our anxieties? We are not merely seeking a dusty historical relic. We are seeking what that box truly represents: divine power, ultimate truth, and a tangible connection to the sacred that often feels lost in our modern, chaotic world. The search for the Ark in its purest essence becomes a profound search for ourselves, for our purpose, our place in the divine order, and the very meaning of our existence. It underscores humanity's timeless yearning for something greater than ourselves, a longing for spiritual grounding. What do you think drives humanity's endless search for lost sacred objects? Share your theories. Let's explore this human fascination together. The Ark Today, still missing, still speaking. The physical Ark of the Covenant may be missing from our sight, its precise location shrouded in mystery, yet its powerful, profound symbolism continues to speak to us today, echoing through the corridors of our modern lives. It calls us back to the vital importance of reverence, a humble, awe-filled acknowledgement before the incomprehensible, a quiet respect for that which transcends our limited human understanding. It speaks of the enduring foundational power of sacred law as the ultimate bedrock of a just, moral, and thriving society, a reminder that true freedom thrives within divine boundaries. And it gently yet powerfully compels us to acknowledge the limits of our own reason, inviting us to embrace the vastness and mystery of that which extends far beyond our intellectual grasp. Consider the potent symbols of our contemporary world. Think of the American flag reverently planted on the moon, not just fabric, but a vibrant symbol of national aspiration, triumph, and shared identity, a modern ark of collective belief. Or the solemn placing of the Holy Bible during presidential inaugurations, representing a nation's commitment to foundational principles and spiritual guidance, a silent invocation of a higher authority. These are powerful, living echoes of the Ark's symbolic power, demonstrating humanity's enduring need for tangible representations of intangible ideals. The Ark, in its deepest truth, remains present. Not perhaps in a specific physical location, but in the very way we live, the values we hold dear, and the profound reverence, or indeed the lack thereof, that we choose to offer to the sacred dimensions of our lives. It reminds us that the true Holy of Holies resides within the human spirit, waiting to be awakened. What modern symbols do you believe carry a similar sacred weight for society today? Share your insights. Let's discover these hidden arks together. And so our extraordinary journey through the echoes of time, tracing the whispers and wonders of the Ark of the Covenant, draws to a close. We've unraveled the layers of its sacred purpose, from a mere chest to a profound divine portal, a tangible bridge between the heavens and humanity. We've marveled at its celestial blueprint, a testament to a cosmic precision that transcends human understanding, hinting at an ancient technology powered by something far beyond our current comprehension. We've seen how its precious contents, the law, the manna, the rod, laid the very foundations of a nation, symbolizing the pillars that still uphold our societies today: justice, provision, and legitimate authority. We navigated through its triumphs, witnessing how it literally moved mountains and parted waters, a powerful spiritual beacon that transformed fear into an unshakable faith in battle. We confronted its stark, holy paradox, recognizing that immense divine power, while capable of ushering in miracles, also demands ultimate reverence, as the tragic story of Uzzah so vividly reminds us. This ancient warning resonates deeply, urging us to approach the potent forces of our modern world, our burgeoning AI, our advanced genetic tools, with a humility and wisdom often lacking, lest we become modern-day Uzzahs, inadvertently harming ourselves with the very tools meant to uplift us. We then journeyed into the solemn silence of the Ark, reflecting on how even the most profound divine presence can seem to withdraw when human hearts grow indifferent, when reverence gives way to routine. This mirror of our own secular age reminds us that the divine never truly leaves. Rather, we often simply cease to listen, choosing the noise of the world over the quiet whispers of the soul. We chased the myriad theories of its disappearance, from the highlands of Ethiopia to the mystical whispers of the Knights Templar, and the desperate, misguided pursuits of the Nazis, only to realize that perhaps our relentless search for the physical Ark has always been a deeper yearning for what it represents, a connection to ultimate truth, a yearning for spiritual grounding, a desire to restore a lost sense of purpose in our fragmented world. The Ark of the Covenant, this lost throne, this divine conduit, remains absent from our physical sight, its precise location still one of history's most guarded secrets. Yet its story, its profound symbolism, its enduring lessons continue to speak to us today with an astonishing clarity and power. It calls us to cultivate a renewed sense of reverence, a deep respect for the unseen, for the sacred boundaries that protect our spiritual well-being. It reminds us of the timeless wisdom embedded in sacred law, the guiding principles that elevate us beyond mere existence to a life filled with purpose and meaning. It compels us to embrace humility in the face of the vastness of the divine, acknowledging that true wisdom begins with recognizing what we do not know, what we cannot fully grasp with our limited intellect. Think of the sacred touchstones in your own life, the quiet moments of prayer or meditation, the unconditional love shared with family, the simple beauty of nature that takes your breath away. These are our modern arks, powerful reminders of the sacred woven into the fabric of our everyday. The true essence of the Ark was never confined to a box of acacia wood and gold. It was a living, breathing testament to God's presence among his people, an invitation to a deeper relationship, a call to a higher way of living. It reminds us that the most profound divine power is not found in grand spectacles, but often in the quiet, steady devotion of a humble heart. And so, the Ark never physically returned to a grand temple built by human hands, but perhaps it entered the temple of the heart. Its ultimate hiding place, its enduring presence lies within each of us, waiting to be rediscovered, activated, and cherished. The truth is, the Ark doesn't need to be found to be revered. Its immense spiritual power, its healing energy, its timeless wisdom is already within reach if we only choose to connect with it. This journey through the Ark's mystifying saga prompts a final stirring question, one that resonates deep within the core of our being. What if the Ark was never meant to be found, because we were always meant to become it? What if the ultimate divine presence is not outside us, but a spark within, waiting to ignite? If this journey through the hidden truths of the Ark of the Covenant has stirred something sacred within your soul, if it has brought a glimmer of light into your days, or offered a fresh perspective on the profound mysteries that shape our world, then I humbly invite you to consider offering a small, energetic contribution to help us continue this work. Every gesture of support, no matter how small, is an invaluable blessing that empowers us to create more videos exploring God's timeless word and sharing these vital messages of hope and healing. Your belief in this mission fuels our purpose. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this community. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let the Ark's message of profound truth and enduring presence continue to speak again through you. And remember to share your deepest reflections in the comments below. What truths has the Ark unveiled for you today? Your insights truly enrich our shared journey,